out here because. All right.
By the way, congratulations on going on your own, brother. Like, that's a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of forced to. I mean, I got laid off, so I was like,
oh man.
So I mean, I had to do something. I mean, and the job actually market's been pretty tough because I've been like interviewing like crazy and just nothing's just been happening for like the past few months. And so I just
really
yeah. So I just
all
said,
right,
hey,
well, after this episode, you and I need to talk because we
all
actually have some roles that are open at some enterprise. I'm assuming you want to go big enterprise.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
enterprise.
a lot of your background. So
yeah.
All right.
Okay. No, let me see.
And I got some stuff for you.
All right, let me see if everyone. Hey guys, let me see. Everyone in YouTube, you guys hear me okay?
Paul, for some reason, I'm seeing the same like time on the show starts.
Oh yeah. let me fix that. I mean, let me just. Why is this going here? Countdown timer.
Countdown timer permanently frozen at 3:43.
Oh, now I got 42 minutes.
Now 42 minutes.
let me put it to at least. Give me 2 minutes here, just so I can get everyone back on. All right, guys. Yeah, hear me now. Jeremy hears me now. All right, guys.
Awesome.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and start this, guys. So, Jordan, so what I do is I go over a few videos and that I find over the past week, and then I'm gonna go ahead and issue in about 8 minutes past 12, and then we'll have a conversation from there.
Cool. Awesome.
All right, guys.
Can't wait.
Brian, what's up? Loud and clear. Okay, so now my soundboard doesn't work. I don't think. Yeah. Hey. Let's see here. Maybe. Oh, here it goes. All right. Well, I got 1 minute and 24 seconds, guys. Hold on. Sorry, guys. I got a little technical difficulties here. I see a bunch of you out there. Don't be shy. Say hi in the live chat. Today's special guest is Jordan Cooney, founder of Previsible. Today's topics, we'll be talking about stop the overhype, every SEO update and change prevents our success. A little different conversation today, a little more of a thought leadership from a SEO thought leader. So we got about 50 more seconds to go. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. Let me just pull. All right. Brian, my man. All right, Jeremy, you can hear me now. Thank you. I got 30 seconds, guys. Get your shouts out in. Let me know where you're watching from. If you guys are in the US, I still got a few of these SEO in 2023 books. Send me your email address or send me your address at dre@seo.video and I'll send you this book. Hey, Richards, yo, let's go.
Hey Dre, what do SEOs use besides consonants? Disavowals! Ah!
Yeah. Hey, time to get it started, no delay, let's work. Wanna see you be an SEO expert. Paul Andre De Vera, steady dropping knowledge. Over 15 years in the game, so he knows all about it. Master the art of SEO, you will be amazed. Time to get your brand off page to on page. Dropping knowledge, legendary for sure. Whether you're just getting started or self-employed entrepreneur. Yeah, let's go. Subscribe to the SEO video show. Hey.
Hey, welcome to another episode of the SEO Video Show. SEO is alive and fun. My name is Paul Andre De Vera, aka Dre, and I curate SEO videos released in the past week. And it's about 1 minute clips. My favorite part of the show is when I get to introduce my guest. And my guest this week is the founder of Previsible, Jordan Cooney. Before we get started, let's say what's up to everyone in chat. I see Jeremy, Hobby, Dave, Brian, Jeremy again, Stefan, Nubia, so much more. Thank you all for coming by. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Now, let's get on with the show. Oh man, I'm having so many technical difficulties here. All right, guys, I'm gonna wing this here. All right, so our first video today is our first piece of news is by. Let me go ahead and I'm gonna win this right here. So our very first piece of news from Google is. This week, Google updated its best practices on links. Google uses its links to determine the relevancy of pages and to find new pages to crawl. Learn how to make your links crawlable so that Google can find other pages on your site via the links of your page. And how to improve your anchor text so text is easy for people and Google to make sense of your content. The link is in the description. So, when is it a good time to invest in SEO? Let's check this one out.
Yeah, and I think it makes sense to start investing in this when you don't have an immediate need for customers. So you have a longer term mindset, you can invest over time. Let's say you already have another channel that's working. Maybe it is paid, and paid's consistently driving leads for the business, keeping your salespeople busy or driving trials. And then now you want to build for the long term and say, well, I don't want to keep investing more and more money in paid spend. I want to start owning some of the organic search queries, and then over time, hopefully take my reliance off of paid or whatever other channel it is. And that's a perfect time to start investing because you don't need this now, but you can start thinking about how I can invest for my business for the long term and generate another full lead channel. And I think that's the challenge. I think that.
So I feel like in today's climate, investing in SEO is more important than ever. So be sure to try to get your budgets and, oh God, you guys, my desktop is a mess, but I'm gonna keep going. All right, so our next piece of video is by Chris Palmer, and he shares an interesting tool, an interesting way to do keyword research for local SEO. Let's check this one out.
The roofing, what we're looking for is we want to know, well, turn it on. I use it every day, literally. I've used, 2,000 credits? This is $10 per 100,000 credits. And what we can do is we're going to go to our little example here, roofing and roofers. Which one should we go for? Well, let's say that we're in Houston, or better yet, let's just do roofing. And what we're looking for is we want to know, well, which variation has a higher volume? So roofing is a 301,000 volume. See the volume and the cost per click? It's listed right here. So roofing and roofers. Okay, well, which one should we go for? So they're equal. So now what we want to do is we need to also, the next piece of it is, well, in the area that we're in, area that you're in, what is Google rewarding and what are my competitors targeting? So let's say, let's go to Houston now. Let's say we're going to Houston and it's roofing. Is it Houston roofing? Take a look at the SERP. SERP is the search engine results page. Houston roofing, Greater House. Now let's do roofers. And you saw that, right? Houston roofing.
All right. Speaking of roofing, Kyle Roof shares his thoughts on Authority Hacker this past week. Kyle dropped some serious tips on there, so be sure to check it out.
There's been a lot of algorithm changes this year, but information gain is the thing because a lot of people are just kind of copying each other. Maybe 5 to 7 of the results look exactly the same. And so what you have to do is for the content that you're producing, it's got to look different. You got to bring something new to the table. So even if you bring like 1 or 2 paragraphs of new data or a new story that you can share, that's going to be different than all the other information out there. And so then that's known as information gain, and the algorithms actually like that. And so you have to think about how you can constantly bring it and then bring a unique point of view. And then, these AI content writers are going to continue to change the game too, because as of right now, I don't think it's possible actually to be able to detect if people are generating unique content from AI. And so you can use a tool like Jasper.ai to do it. And there's kids that are doing homework assignments using a tool like Jasper.ai basically. And they're turning in their homework assignment to their teachers, and the teachers aren't able to detect anything, right? Because we're only so human. Look, the key thing is that you adapt and you don't stay stuck in your ways. It's still very valuable to build a team of content writers. It's still very valuable to build a media company, but you have to diversify your media company too.
All right, guys. Jeremy, you caught that. Yes. Kyle looks a lot different now. So I want to go ahead and let's just go ahead and get right to the show here. So there's been so much talk about AI and SEO is dead. And today's guest here is here to stop the overhype and share his judgment. What the? All right, guys, I'm going to get things ready here. Just go ahead and subscribe while I get things ready. Jordan is an innovation leader with a passion for the search industry. His connection with search has developed him into an industry leader addressing new challenges for SEO market. He is the CEO and co-founder of Previsible, a search education and consulting practice. He is the CEO of Search Metrics and was the head of SEO and content development at eBay. He has presented at various industry events including SMX, PubCon, and Content Marketing World, where he shares his insights and success with the search and content industry. Please welcome veteran SEO and thought leader, Jordan Cooney. Jordan, my man, welcome to the show.
Paul, so glad to be here, man.
Man, I'm having all these kind of technical difficulties, but oh God. Let me get you back on here. All right. So yeah, there's my monitor right here. So I may be looking off to the side because my monitor right where I'm supposed to be looking at is off. So I'm looking at a black screen when I'm talking to you. So I might just go to the side and look this way. All right, guys.
How's the audio? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Everything looks fine. Thank you again. Jordan, man, I've been following you for years. You've been one of the SEOs I've probably first listened to back in, I think it was like when ClickZ or Search Engine Strategies back in the days. That's like over 10 years ago. And so I followed you since then and until today. So I'm glad to have you on board. And I hope we can get through this.
Yeah, let's do it. All right,
guys. Everyone give a round of applause. Okay, this is the first question I ask all my SEO professionals that come on here. In 1 minute or less, how does Jordan get ranking on Google?
Well, you got to build authentic and great experiences for your customers. I mean, at the end of the day, you're going to hear a lot of talk about content and optimization and this and that. But if it's not authentic and it's not a good experience, why the hell do people want to come visit it? So that I think is the most critical component to success on page one of Google.
Love it. First knowledge bomb of today. All right, hold on real quick. Let's rewind this real quick. All right, Jordan, take us way back to over a decade ago. How'd you first get into SEO?
Well, I got started in 2001. I built a Spanish bookstore, and that Spanish bookstore started to outrank Amazon. And if I need to remind our viewers, Amazon in 2001 only sold Spanish books. So, or excuse me, they only sold books. Yeah. So to be able to outrank them, was a pretty remarkable thing. And that kind of just springboarded me into a career in the SEO industry and led me to a bunch of enterprise jobs and opportunities and grew from there.
Love it. So take us into, you got into there and was your first SEO gig at eBay, or was it doing SEO somewhere else prior to eBay?
Yeah, I worked for a few companies before eBay. I worked for Network Solutions, which was a huge domain registrar. And then I went to work for answers.com, which back in the early 2000s was a top 50 website in the world. Most of us probably have already forgotten that. And then I went to eBay and spent 5 years there as the director of SEO and content development.
Love it. So what part of SEO did you actually like about it?
Well, I mean, the part of SEO that I like the most, I think, is, well, not I think, I mean, it's really the ability to influence so many parts of an online company, of a digital company. It's that, it's not about just content. It's not just technical. It's that you in order for SEO really to work, you have to be able to influence and make decisions across every single facet of a company. And that's what I enjoy. That's what I really get excited about. I get excited about talking to CEOs. I get excited about talking to content marketers. I get excited about talking to PMs and how to fix mobile experiences, and that's what makes it so thrilling.
Love it. So then how'd you actually learn it? I mean, back then there wasn't that many people to follow. And so were you doing it like just testing things out yourself? Like how'd you actually learn it, and what places were your resources back then?
I mean, this is an old school shout out. Aaron Wall SEO book was the first website that I would use to learn SEO. And I had this really close friend, Mike Hunnigan, and him and I would just sit in this office and we would just hack all day and just like come up with crazy ideas. And that's kind of how like it all got started. I mean, obviously from there, you know, Barry Schwartz and you know, SEO Roundtable and just kind of leveraging those resources. But candidly, it was really a self-taught thing. You know, I didn't have like, you know, someone to like lean on and teach me the craft. I didn't have a manager, at least not for the first 10 years of my SEO career, that didn't even knew what SEO was, to be honest with you.
Love that. Yeah, I remember Aaron Wall, he used to put out a PDF, and I remember every time he updated, I mean, I print it out, and then he would update it like maybe a week later. I'm like, oh, I got to print it out again. So yeah, it was one of those things that he'd always update consistently back then. So yeah, I remember that guy. All right, so I want to get into the topic of today. So you are an industry thought leader for the SEO industry, and you recently told me like, we should stop the overhype. Every SEO update and change is preventing our success. I mean, what do you mean by this?
I mean, the SEO news has gotten really, it's gotten really big, and I like that, and that's a good thing. Like the SEO news and the ability for us to inform each other is a key component of people learning and growing in the SEO community. So no qualms on that front. But what I really feel is a challenge that as an SEO community, as thought leaders and as voices in this industry, we've started to really like latch onto things and drive so much information about them. In some cases, even misinformation about what they mean. And I think that that's a really dangerous thing. And it's really, really important for us to really be mindful about what these news pieces really mean to everyday SEOs and the companies who are trying to leverage this as a channel. And I'll give you a great example. A lot of news in the past couple of weeks about Yandex. Yep. But I'll be honest with you, Paul. Like, I mean, the last time a CEO asked me about Yandex was never. Just never. It never happened. I mean, it's crazy, right? Like, I mean, it's only a very small part of the world leverages this as a search engine. And unless you're in that part of the world, it candidly really doesn't matter. Now don't get me wrong. There's a lot of people are going to disagree on that. It's a view into how search engines are built, and yeah, there's a lot of value into it. But let's be honest about how much hype we should really give it, and have we overhyped it to the point where we're missing the true value of that piece of knowledge coming out?
So like you go into talking about like even like ChatGPT. There's a lot about AI and as well. So I mean, what's your thoughts on like the whole ChatGPT and AI?
Well, I mean, ChatGPT is super exciting, and we should be all thrilled that this is a new technology that not only we've had here available to us since late last year, but it's also evolving really, really fast. But one of the things that a lot of people don't know about is that there are over 150 publicly available APIs that provide generative AI solutions. And so ChatGPT being one of them from OpenAI, and they have others, by the way, but there's really a whole ecosystem of solutions out there that help us leverage generative language learning models, generative image and image responses. And there's a whole plethora of other solutions and ways that this technology can help us. And again, I want to be really clear that the overhype in this is not the innovation of the technology coming out. Absolutely warranted. But it is really around how the application should be put into an SEO's day-to-day work. And I think that's where we've gone into a very dangerous place where we don't understand how to leverage libraries. We aren't talking enough about prompts. One of my favorite scenarios is a friend of mine who's a lawyer, and there's been a couple New York Times articles written about this. He was generating legal documents, wills and other types of documents using ChatGPT like technology. And he said the amazing thing about this is that it gave me a really amazing legal contract and a really amazing will. But I've been a lawyer for 20 years and I knew exactly the questions to ask the technology in order to get this byproduct. And so I think we forget sometimes that you still have to have the knowledge, you still have to have the data, you still have to have the insight in order to make these technologies super useful and super productive for everyday use. So that's just something that I really feel passionate about when it comes to ChatGPT and other generative AI technologies.
Love that. So, I mean, what other AI technologies do you see that are you using, or you see that could be helpful for us SEOs that's out right now?
Yeah, I mean, this one I think you're gonna love, Paul. This is when the thing you're just gonna freak out, but it has absolutely nothing to do with SEO.
Okay,
but
right.
I think you're gonna freak out. It's called Hair by AI, and it is literally an AI model to help you get new hairstyles. So if you want to go get a new hairdo, if you want to go, obviously I have almost no hair left, so I can't compete with you, Paul. But I'm gonna tell you right now, if you wanted to go with a new do, this is the website to do it, because they're going to go and show you what new styles look like. And the beauty of this technology and how the founders of this company are trying to evolve it is that it's not just about changing the hair, the look of your hair, but you have to be able to maintain the integrity of the person, right? If all of a sudden I lose 20 pounds and you put a new hairdo on me, it changes everything, right? So the way that they've approached the model and controlled the experiences for you to kind of create a new hairstyle is really, really powerful. And I think this is just one example of many where it is about creating the right structure and environment so that you can create a very specific output that gives utility for human beings. And that's what's really important about this example. The same thing applies to content generation. The same thing applies to other image generation, video generation. You can't just apply a universal set of logic to get a positive and useful outcome.
Love that. All right. So I know there's a lot of noise out there, especially with the search engines and Bing and Google going with their whole chat, AI and stuff like that. So I'm curious, how do you see SEO moving towards with that coming about? I mean, people are saying SEO is dead. Is SEO dead?
Oh God, no. I mean, SEO's not dead. let's be honest. It's only dead for the people who've abandoned it. So I mean, that is, I think, a reality that I used to joke about SEO being dead, but SEO is far from being dead. Now, is it evolving? Is it certainly changing? Yes. Another great example of overhype, since the theme here is overhype, and you probably remember this, Paul, right? Is 5 years ago, everybody spent all of their time talking about SEO moving to voice search, that SEO is going to change or die because of voice search. Has that happened, Paul? No. It hasn't. Right now, has voice search been a part of our lives, and is it evolving? Is it becoming more and more important? No question. But I think what's really interesting about the concept of SEO being dead is that the place that this comes from is fear, right? And the fear is that because Google is this constrained, unknown, quote unquote, black box, it becomes an anxiety that we have in the industry and the people who are on the outsides of the industry that this is suddenly going to disappear someday. And I think that that's a complete falsehood, because the concepts of SEO and the skills and the craft that you learn over time will never go away. They may evolve, they may change. You may have to apply them to new technologies, to new behaviors that consumers utilize, but it is not going to go away.
Excellent!
All right. So talking about education, it's not going away. I want to go talk about Previsible a little bit, because I mean, it's not necessarily an agency, right? You help other SEOs. You actually provide education. Can you tell us more about what Previsible is doing?
Yeah, absolutely. Happy to. We believe at Previsible that SEO is a life cycle, that unlike maybe other consulting or agencies, that there's a transition in a life cycle that clients and businesses have to go through in order to be effective at SEO. That may require at times consulting and having a great consultant or freelancer to help evolve SEO. But it also means that you need to develop the talent you have to understand SEO. And everybody who's listening and watching this knows full well that you've worked with analytics partners, you've worked with content marketers, you've worked with your business owner to explain and teach and develop their SEO skills. And that is as important as having the best SEO in the world on your staff, which is the last component to this life cycle, which is recruiting and hiring SEOs. Because SEO requires so many different skill sets, I genuinely believe that it's hard for companies to hire the right talent. And so at Previsible, we also help companies recruit the right SEOs for their teams, define the skill sets, go through the recruiting process to find the right fit. So there's this life cycle where companies can start with, say, consulting and hands-on support, move into development, coaching, training, and then eventually at some point really bring on the right staff to help them grow and scale. And that's how we look at the SEO world from Previsible's side.
Love it. Okay, we're getting some questions coming in here. We got a few from Hobby. Let's take one from Hobby. He asked, let's see this one right over here. Is GPT 3.5 a reliable source of SEO information that you can trust? Oh,
well,
yeah.
I mean, I think that there's an evolution that ChatGPT is going to be going through, right? And one of them is if you think about just the previous variations of ChatGPT, they were stuck in 2021 in terms of the data sources that they had. We're going to continuously see how the language learning model is able to process and ingest data to really scale, right? And what this is going to do for us is the base technology of ChatGPT is going to be easier and faster and more useful for every scenario. But for specific companies, you still have to leverage your own data. You still have to leverage your own prompts to be able to make it useful and a value to the customers that you're addressing. And so let me give you a quick example, right? If I'm a big, let's say I'm a big online rental website, right? Like think of Apartments or Zillow or Redfin, and I have real estate that I want to showcase to consumers. The reality is I have tons of data, not only about where these properties are, the price points that they're at, but also I have data about how users are visiting these pages and what kind of questions they're asking about those properties. And does this building have a doorman or garage with that's inside, or all these really important, unique questions about these properties? You can leverage that data to build better content for those pages. And that to me is the real secret of how ChatGPT and any variation of it is going to help companies become more successful.
Love it. Dropping all these knowledge bombs here. Okay, guys, if you guys have questions, go ahead and ask them in the live chat. I want to go back into Previsible and talk about like how you help other SEOs, help you recruit SEOs and place them. So, I mean, what are some ways that someone can grow their SEO career?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think that growing your SEO career is something that we just don't spend enough time talking about. Sometimes we get really distracted with ChatGPT, and then we don't talk about the fact that we have to evolve our careers and get better at our craft. But one of the things that I'm always mindful of, including myself, is you always have to be willing to learn. And the best SEOs are constantly challenging themselves to learn new skills, learn new capabilities, find new ways of communicating, and finding new ways of building consensus or collaboration with the partners that you have. And the skills that you're learning can change. Some of them can be super soft skills, like the ones we were just talking about, communication, collaboration. Some of them have to be very hard skills, like data mining and setting up certain rules and paths and code to help an organization better evolve their technology. The reality is that both of these skill sets are constantly changing and constantly evolving. And so you have to start by having this appetite to just constantly learn. That's the first thing that's going to help grow your SEO career. And if you ever stop doing that, if you ever get complacent, if you ever get stuck and say, my favorite coin phrase that I've heard from interview candidates is, I just want to be a technical SEO. Well, you've already put yourself into a box, right? And as soon as you do that, you basically close yourself off from wanting to learn and develop skills in other places.
Love it. Okay, we got Hobby. Hobby is asking a bunch of questions here in the live chat. Let me just get his most recent one here. It goes, what is the target audience for the personalized SEO video, a part of SEO experts? What is the target audience for the personalized SEO video, a part of SEO experts?
Well, tricky question there, Paul. I think that where this is going is, personalizing videos for different experts is tricky. It's hard, right? Like if you're trying to create a resource, whether it be videos or otherwise, that is targeted to a specific SEO expert, there often is a mismatch between what that expert and what that team is going through and what the advice or the direction that a video or content might be heading in. And so one of the things that we like to focus at Previsible is that there is a layer of customization that always has to happen in order for learning and development to occur. And so you have to understand what the company's objectives are. What are the business goals? What are the teams trying to achieve? What are the OKRs, KPIs? And you always have to bring that into the fold with the rest of your development, your training material. Those two things have to work with one another in order to really create the output you want to have in SEO.
Love that. Hobby, hopefully that answers your question. I want to, so in Previsible, you offer education, right? So like, what does your education look like? What does that curriculum look like for SEOs? I mean, are you training? I mean, are you helping them with all different parts of SEO? Are you talking about the soft skills? I mean, how does this training part look like inside Previsible?
Yeah, it's a really good question. And I think that this is an area that we've seen, and you know it, Paul, right? Like we've seen a ton of evolution in the last 2 to 3 years around people creating masterclass training programs for SEO, lots of people out there promoting their, educational type of resources. And I think that that's great. We need more of that, right? Now at Previsible, we really think of education as enablement. Like, how do we enable an SEO or a team lead or a product manager to become better at understanding and executing the work that they do around SEO? And this might include things like, can we help you by developing certain workflows? One of our clients has 16 SEOs in different countries. And what we try to do for them is create standardization around documentation so that an SEO in Singapore does the same thing as an SEO in Germany. And the output is the same so that director can push that information up the channel, right? If you're a big company, you need that in order to be effective and have a consistent cadence around the SEO work you do. This is just one example around enablement, which helps educate teams and organizations to be better at doing SEO.
Got it. All right. So I didn't see any other questions come here in the live chat. If you guys got any more questions, please ask them in the live chat. I want to go into more of the, we were talking about you said search AI, we got the search AI race all wrong. Why do we have the search AI race all wrong?
Whew, tough question there, Paul. I think that, the search AI race is all wrong, and we're starting to see some of this news come out already, right? Because the hype around this is focused on, is ChatGPT going to take out Google? Like, is Google dead now, right? Because ChatGPT got acquired by Microsoft, and suddenly, everyone who's listening to this episode has stopped using Google and has converted over to Bing, which is totally ludicrous. And so I think that the race is highly misunderstood,
Mhm.
and it is an evolving scenario. And let's be honest, Google has been using AI related technologies to help inform SERPs and how the SERPs are laid out for a very long time now. BARD is just going to be an evolution of how they're able to help answer questions within the SERP, taking advantage of things that they already have in the SERP, like PAA, answer boxes, and many other features. And so let's be frank about the reality that not every consumer is going to suddenly switch to Bing. Is this an opportunity for Microsoft to make a bigger impact in the search race? Yes. Is it really going to unfold the way that a lot of the news and media has made it out to be? No. There's been 1 million people, 1 million people have signed up to experiment on the new Bing ChatGPT integration. And I want to remind everybody that every month, 21 million users went to OpenAI to use their technology. So we're dealing with a real small population, even thinking of experimenting with this new integration. And so I think there's a bit of a misnomer around how ChatGPT is going to be evolving within Microsoft and Bing, and really what this search race looks like.
Love it. Jeremy says here, I think Bing's integration of ChatGPT is a little underwhelming at the moment, a little clunky. I'm curious about Bing. What are your thoughts about Bing SEO? I mean, is it something that we should be starting paying attention to, or should we just keep our focus on just Google?
Oh boy, it's a great question, Paul, and I agree with Jeremy. I think Jeremy's like spot on. It is clunky. I think there's been a lot of news that's come out in the past week about it being, not as advertised. Let's say, and I think that there's going to be a lot more news coming out over the next month around the real risks of how this integration has gone through. But should we be paying attention to Bing? Absolutely. We should have been paying attention to Bing before they bought ChatGPT. The reality is that if you are working in an organization that is driven by the fuel of traffic to your site, you need to be thinking about all search engines that have relevant market share, and Bing has some relevant market share, and they have relevant consumers that you should be targeting. And I'll be honest, like, is it something that you should be spending 80 to 90% of your time on? God, no. But it needs to be part of your complete SEO footprint and how you invest your time and energy as a team.
Love it. I mean, I'm curious, like, if we were to optimize for Bing, what would one thing that you would do to optimize for Bing? Do you know any tips in Bing SEO?
Well, I do. One of the interesting things that people don't spend a lot of time thinking about is the crawl rate with Bing, and managing your submission of pages with Bing, right? Bing is a little different than Google in terms of its capacity for some sites, as well as its willingness to crawl some sites. And they're also open to other technologies like Index Now.
Yeah,
so
Index Now.
Depending on the nature of your site, depending on the size of your site, you've got different strategies to complete the first step in the search engine optimization process, which is crawl, right? That's before index and that's before rank. And so that alone right there is a great starting place for anybody who's thinking about Bing. Is how is the crawl rate? What's the crawl rate look like? How is it evolving? What technologies can I leverage to scale it and grow it? And I'll be honest, if you're a small business owner, if you have a small website or you have just a blog or something like that, you probably haven't even thought about Bing, and you probably don't even have a big Webmaster Central account set up. So you should probably go do that. So there's a lot of work that needs to be done in that first phase of making your SEO plan successful with Bing.
Love it. Love it. Okay, guys, we're coming close to time here. I'm going to go ahead and ask if you guys have any more questions, please ask them in the live chat. I'm going to ask my last question to ask all my SEO professionals that come on here. If someone wants to get into the SEO game, I mean, I know we covered this a little bit earlier, but so if you had like one special tip or special advice for anyone that wants to get into the SEO industry, what would that be?
The number one tip that I would give anyone who's in the SEO industry or wants to get into the SEO industry is go and start testing on your own. look, this is a skill set. This is a craft that there is no university that can give you a diploma. There is no company that can train you up. You're going to have to, at some point, face the reality that your only way of learning this or getting the knowledge that you want to have or the satisfaction you want to have is if you do it yourself. So go build a website, go build a blog, go develop some sort of a product and grow it through SEO and give yourself a tool that allows you to learn and apply those learnings to customers, to clients, to your own business, whatever it might be. And I think that one of the greatest things that the best SEOs I've worked with have done is they've gone out and done it. They've built some website and they've learned through that experience.
Love it. All right. So for this episode to feel complete for you, I mean, is there anything else that you want to mention to the audience? And how can people get a hold of you?
No, I want to say thank you to you, Paul. I think what you do is amazing. And I think this is a great way for people to learn. So I definitely want to give some appreciation out to you and to all the listeners. If you want to get a hold of me, hit me up on LinkedIn, Jordan Cooney, or shoot me an email, Jordan@Previsible. So I'm happy to have a conversation and happy to connect.
All right. Thank you so much. So actually asked, this is my very, very last question. Do you have a special talent? Do you play a music instrument that you want to try? I always catch everyone off guard. If you got a guitar background, pull it out.
I wish, man. I wish. I am musically inept. I can play the kazoo on a good night. That's about the skills that I have there. But I'd say that one of my side and fun passions is certainly traveling and exploring new places and getting to know new places. So if anyone has any questions about that or has any recommendations, shoot them my way.
Love it. Okay, Jeremy says another super show. Thanks, Jordan and Dre. So Jordan, can you hold on for one quick second while I sign off here?
Sure.
Hold on. Okay. All right, guys, that concludes another episode of the SEO Video Show. Please like and subscribe and support the channel, and I will see you next week. Peace out.
Thank you for watching. Hope you come back next week. Make sure to subscribe. You don't want to miss a thing. Hope you learn something new because the vibe is incredible. From the special SEO professionals, SEO Video Show. Let's work. Want to see you be an SEO expert. Paul Andre DeVera helping you step it up. No delay right now. Time to level up. Hey, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe. Woo!